What's up, everybody? So I just finished watching the teaser trailer for the new Frankenstein movie coming out on Netflix, directed by Guillermo del Toro, starring Oscar Isaacs. And I'm pumped. I'm really looking forward to this. I think del Toro is probably one of the few directors that can really pull this off and pull this off in the right way. I think and it comes to the balance between it being a objectively scary movie, with the monster and everything, but also kind of psychologically scary. I think so much of that gets lost in previous iterations of the book. So when you think of, the Boris Karloff version, which is like the most popular one, it's more of, the literally scary aspect of the monster. And even though there are some moments here and there that, kind of speak to and touch upon, how philosophically scary it is, the psychological aspect of it, it's never really like, they always kind of flub up the balance. They tried doing that in the 90s, with Kenneth Branagh and Robert De Niro's character, but it just doesn't work. I think you need someone like Del Toro who, when you look at, movies like The Shape of Water, when you look at even Blade 2, he can balance different genres, but also keep, the evolution of the story and of the characters on a certain level where it just kind of does the ebb and flows that you need for the story to progress and unfold in a way that is entertaining but also interesting. And so, like, when I always think of the one from the 90s because that's kind of the first one that I watched from beginning to end. And it's just very weird to me. It's like it's trying to do something and I kind of get it. It's the most faithful to the book, and I've taught the book, and I've read it many times. And when you read the book, there's that piece where the monster is explaining themselves, and what always gets lost along the way is how eloquent and how intelligent the monster is, and really how the real monster, quote unquote, is Victor Frankenstein, the scientist, because he's trying to play God, and he just kind of discards his creation. And there's a couple of things that really kind of you just lose a certain something. I think the creature design in the 90s movie is just so off-putting, and I understand why. It's supposed to be, difficult to look at, so that way when you see how eloquent they are, you're kind of surprised by that. It was just kind of weird. It's early 90s, so I think the special effects just weren't there yet, the makeup and everything. At the same time, it was Robert De Niro. And, when you think of Robert De Niro, especially in the early 90s, he's just coming off Goodfellas. So you're thinking about him as this, gangster character and how he very much embodies that. And so when you see him as, Frankenstein's monster, you're like, wait, that's Jimmy from Goodfellas, that's Jake LaMotta from Raging Bull. That's the dude from Mean Streets. You know what I mean? It doesn't really click. It doesn't work well enough. Even though the rest of the movie is done, I think, pretty well. Just casting De Niro as Frankenstein's monster, I think, is a huge misstep. Even though he might have the acting skills to do it, I think just his presence on screen wasn't appropriate for it. I like that we don't know who it is in Del Toro's version of it. I don't think it's really important yet. I think as a teaser, the way, they're kind of holding things back, I think it's the right way. It's creating that intrigue and that interest. So I'm looking forward to it. I have complete total faith in Del Toro, and I think everyone should as well. Anyways, what about you guys? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Smash that like button, give me a follow, and I'll see you guys next time.